Hi, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. Also, have a channel called Best of Us in Retirement. But I was watching TV the other day, and I saw an ad for E-Trade, and it all involved this couple saying to this young child, "You need to come back and you need to give people financial advice because they're taking." Advice from memes. They're basing their investment decisions from memes. And I thought, what the hell are they talking about? And I looked into it, and I realized the meme is just a picture of a cat or something or a duck, and there's some words, and people are taking advice from it. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but nonetheless, I decided I needed to create some memes. And I put this one. This is the first one I put up. Wealth is not stored in your wallet. Wealth is stored in your head. It's called knowledge. I thought that was pretty clever. I put that on my E-Trade, no, on my Twitter, on my LinkedIn, and my Facebook page. I wanted to share it with you. And then I got to thinking, there's a lot of fear in the stock market right now. So this morning I did this one. The stock market is reacting to fear. Behind fear, you'll find opportunity. And I thought that was pretty timely as to what's going on. And I thought, I need to do a video about that. I need to explain to people what I mean when I say behind fear is opportunity. And that opportunity is when you basically react contrary to what the herd is reacting, and you clear your head and you see opportunity and you seize upon it. There was a tremendous interview, if you haven't seen, on CNBC with Kathy Woods. I've seen it in multiple parts, but it's her addressing some imbecile about the fact that these stocks you've invested in, Kathy, will never come back. Does that sound like fear? Does that sound like a fear monger? Yes, it does. And shame on you. But Kathy came right back and said, I absolutely do believe they'll come back in price and they'll soar beyond that. And you know what I thought of? Kathy probably doesn't even remember this, but in I guess it was 2000, there was a crazy stock out in Seattle called Amazon that went from $75 a share to $7.50 a share as a result of the fear of the dot-com bubble. And I'll bet you those imbeciles on CNBC said, do you really think that Amazon will ever get back to $75 a share? Well, stupid, it's up to $3,000 now. So I need to do a video on this, and I need to ease your mind about fear and bring it into focus as to what is happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what's going to happen next. But wait a second. This is not financial advice. Do not take this as financial advice. This is merely me sharing my knowledge with you so that, as I told you in the first meme I put up, wealth is not stored in your wallet. Wealth is stored in your head. It's knowledge. And you get knowledge from experience and learning. You read. Do you know that 98% of you have never read a nonfiction book since your last year of education? Yeah. So you stopped learning. Guess what? I read every day. Nonfiction. That's my advantage. We'll talk more after I tell you I'm not your financial advisor.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Grinkmeyer.
Okay, fear. We all know what fear is, and what happens as we react to fear. Think about it. If you went out to a nightclub and somebody put a gun in your face, fear. Would you act rationally? Probably not. You might take a swing at him. No, don't do that. Ask him what he wants and how much of it he wants. So we react to fear, and we actually react as a herd. When the antelope are in the field grazing and the lion shows up, what does the herd do? The herd's bigger than that lion. They could take that lion on, but no, they react by fear and they run, and the weakest gets killed. So that's the world we live in, and the stock market's no different. You need to know that there are thousands of jobs on the line this week. Yeah. Hedge funds, mutual funds, financial advisors. If this market continues to go down, they'll lose their jobs. Or they'll jump off a 30-story building, depending upon what happens. So let's go to my psychiatrist. I have referred to TradingView as my psychiatrist many times. It is a charting service that I use, and you can find a link to it in the description, that I can go to any day of the week, any time of the day, and say, what the hell's going on? Can I get any information to make me feel better, to dispose of this fear, to put that unwanted roommate that's in my head, he's not there anymore, I've gotten rid of him, and say, no, you're asking me to act irrationally. Okay, let's look at this chart, and you'll understand how behind fear always comes opportunity. Okay, you'll notice I constantly bring you back to this TradingView chart that I have created that illustrates that the market is basically driven by change, innovation, and disruption. But I realize that, as I said, fear is what's driving the market today, this week. And I want to illustrate that to you so that you understand that after fear comes opportunity. And if you are willing to wait it out and take advantage, look into the future and say, what is going to happen after this goes away, you can make a lot of money in the stock market. And it's consistently shown itself. And yet, we have fear, and that fear goes from the young 18-year-old who got a $1,200 check for some reason and now is investing in the stock market for the first time, all the way to a seasoned investor or a Wall Street investor, a hedge fund manager who fears for his job because he's not making his numbers and he's got to scramble. And he's not reacting based on his own knowledge and experience. He's reacting on fear. And let me just show you this. What I've done is focused on fear. And as you can see, fear was the reaction to the dot-com bubble. Over-exuberance. Would you agree? Those of us who remember the World Wide Web, over-exuberance about what the internet was going to do, pumped up the price in undervalued or non-valued companies, and then it crashed. Okay? And fear took over, and it lasted 18 months. Then the government started pumping money into the stock market, and we got to 2008, and the banking system was all screwed up. And we're giving people who were unqualified for home loans, multiple home loans, and the market crashed and fear took it down. Oh my God, the real estate market is collapsing and the world will never be the same. Well, that lasted 8 months. And then the world came back and social media came into rescue and we saw a change. And that went all the way up until 2016. And we had another crash. The preceding crash, the dot-com bubble went down 82%. The subprime crisis was 58%. This one in 2015, 2016 went down 25%. Then we had another one where fear stepped in, went down 23%. Then we had the, what would that be? That would be the pandemic. It went down 30% in just a matter of months. And think about it. What was driving that? Was it the value of the stocks? Was it technical analysis? No, it was fear. It was fear of what's going to happen next. When was it? When the 9/11, the market crashed. Fear. What is all this all about? So the market reacts to fear. And here we are right now today. The market's down 18%. Look at the numbers the others went. 30, 23, 25, 58, 82. Are we done with fear at 18? Probably not. Probably not. Because not only are we today, last week we were dealing with fear of interest rates and inflation and unemployment and how a broken supply chain and high housing prices. Well, we just threw Russia into the fear mix. Okay, so until that all is settled, this market will go down because it's not acting rationally. You will not act rationally if you are reacting to fear. If you go out tonight and go to a bar and you come out of the bar and someone puts a gun in your face, are you going to act rationally? I hope so. I hope you say, what is it you want? Take it. Or you might be foolish and take a swing at the guy because of fear, because you're in a place you've never been before. And so you have human instincts that say, I must survive. And you act irrationally. And again, if you look at these things and you say, well, how does this all manifest itself? It manifests itself out of irrational behavior of people. A lot of this that we're dealing with right now is all about a bunch of people who never had invested before, were stuck at home, quarantined, and the government sent them money and then just kept sending them money. And they said, what should I do about it? And the newspapers started talking about all the money that people were making on AMC theaters and the video game place, and it was irrational. People were saying, I'm making millions of dollars trading options on these things. It's not real. So when it's not real, it's not going to last. You go back to the subprime crisis. You had people who were getting loans on houses and didn't have to prove income. And then when they got that house, they went and bought another house and another house. And the money was just coming for free. Whenever that happens, whenever money comes for free, the market's going to crash. The dot-com bubble. Secretaries were being issued stock in lieu of pay because the company had no money. So they gave them stock, and these secretaries, as a result of the irrational exuberance around the dot-com bubble, became millionaires overnight. Is that real? Well, it might be for a short period of time, but eventually the market corrects itself. And that's what we're dealing with right now. So roll back from the chart, take a long look, and ask yourself, from 2000 to 2022, is that an up trending market or a down trending market? And based on your answer, you'll know what to do. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about it. Okay, so what is the opportunity? Again, look at what I just showed you. After the dot-com bubble, we had the digital revolution just took off. The digital revolution started the dot-com bubble, but it took off. Then we had the real estate crisis, and the government responded to it and pumped money into the market, and social media and electric vehicles. The money flowed and it took off. We're now still reacting to the corona crisis, a different variant, but still reacting. What is that all about? It's about healthcare. It's about how a bat somehow infected a human in Wuhan, China, we believe, and it spread across the world. Is that any indication that our healthcare system is broken? So if it is broken, what would you expect to happen next? Maybe there'll be an effort to fix it. I suspect that's what's going to happen next. Where is that effort going to come from? Is it going to come from some snake oil? I don't think so. What's the most revolutionary thing going on in the healthcare field right now? It's genome sequencing. It's learning what goes on in our body when we get infected by a disease or by a virus and how we go about stopping it. We've advanced in the medical field in the last 2 years more than we advanced in the preceding 100 years. So if that's the case, where is the opportunity behind this fear? It's in the medical field. Do you see, if you watch my videos, do you see that the big pharma is buying up little pharma? Because they recognize their future depends upon genome sequencing and genome editing. Do you see that? Do you understand it? Now, yeah, like Nick said in Boston, lawyer, it may take 3 to 5 years. Yeah, it might. Amazon didn't evolve in 6 months, and neither did Apple, and neither did. But if you want to be a part of the future, you must get past the fear. And what you should be celebrating. Hallelujah! We have fear. We have fear. Because what comes after fear? The chart shows it consistently. After fear comes opportunity. And he who recognizes the opportunity and invests in the leaders and the facilitators becomes wealthy. But they must be patient. And they must subside the fear. Okay. That's kind of where I'm at. I told you that there were a number of stocks that I have a target price on. I shared in my last video the target price on Tesla, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, NVIDIA, and Apple, and where I'm going to buy them if this fear continues up. And I suspect it will. We're only down something like 17%. We probably got another 17% to go. And what will make that happen? I can give you one name. One name. His first name's Vladimir. What a hell of a name. Vladimir. He had to be a soldier. He now controls your fear level. And not only your fear level, but the fear level of all the stock market. And you should be aware that what he does is going to change the world we live in. Talk to you again tomorrow.